So what made you sought after this fight with Canelo?
Canelo's a great fighter. You know, he's respected. I'm a fan of Canelo. And like I said before, Canelo is the last of the great fighters that's available to fight. Canelo's at 168. It's a big task, but I'm always up for it. Big risk, big reward. And I want to be the first ever boxer to be a 3-weight undisputed world champion.
Talk to me about like the business of this fight, because it's live on Netflix. This is your first time fighting on Netflix.
Right.
How does this fight come together as opposed to like typical fights that you've had in the past?
Well, it's all the same. You know, at the end of the day, you got the promotion, you got the network coming out, and they shooting you, and they promoting the fight. It's just, you know, on a different network.
Boxing, bar none. You know, we've got two of the best fighters in the world, and Terence Crawford trying to do what no other's done before, a 4-division world champion, and, you know, jumping up from light middleweight now to super middle, trying to achieve the unachievable against Canelo Alvarez, who is pound for pound. Can he do it? I think he can. I think that this guy creates history. Terence Crawford.
Spencer Oliver warned Canelo that the toughest challenge of his career is just ahead. He believes Terence Crawford is stepping into a dangerous test that could either make him a legend or break him. Even Eddie Hearn, who once strongly backed Canelo, is now leaning toward Crawford. Oliver explained that if Crawford chooses to fight smart and stay elusive, he could dominate. Crawford is not just hype, he is dangerous, and if someone as sharp as Hearn notices Canelo struggling with that style, it's a serious warning. Crawford has the tools to turn this fight into a nightmare, forcing Canelo to chase him all night. Hearn's change of heart speaks volumes, showing how real the threat has become. His comments have pushed the fight to another level. And while both men are entering the later stages of their careers, Hearn made it clear the biggest factor now is the weight.
And you know, it's two guys that are coming towards the back end of their careers, but two legends, pound for pound legends of the sport. A fascinating fight between two guys with tremendous ring IQ. I guess the big conversation is how the weight will affect Bud and how he will respond to the size. You know, we got a situation where in Los Angeles, Crawford didn't look that big against the 154. In fact, I thought Madrimov looked the bigger, the stronger guy in that fight. I thought it was a very, very close fight, that fight. Now you're going up 2 divisions at 168 for Canelo Alvarez, who is, you know, a pound for pound legend of the sport. Against Skull, he didn't look great. You know, the movement didn't look great. I didn't think his legs looked...
The jump in weight is the ultimate test of Crawford's limits. Hearn pointed out that Crawford didn't even appear very big at 154, and now he's moving up to 168 to face one of the strongest champions in the sport. Still, Hearn admitted that Crawford has a way of making the impossible look real. The question now is whether pure talent can overcome size. Hearn stressed that the real danger will be how Crawford reacts once heavy shots start landing at super middleweight. He called that the true $1 million question.
That's really the $1 million question. How can he hang at 168? When you spend time with both of them, they're both so confident, you actually can't see him losing. Bud talks a brilliant game, and he's walked the walk continuously. And he has probably the best boxing IQ in the game. I probably, and you know, Canelo's my guy, but I probably lean slightly.
Hearn admitted it's tough to imagine either man losing because both are full of confidence, but he praised Crawford's intelligence and adaptability. He explained that while he had always admired Canelo, he once held a slight bias against Crawford after a rare incident became public. Now, however, Crawford has earned huge respect. Hearn's views matched what many fans already believe. Even though Canelo remains the clear favorite, the story doesn't end there.
Favorite going in, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if Crawford could do it.
Hearn made it clear that an upset wouldn't shock him. Crawford has proven before that reputations and betting odds mean nothing once he's in the ring. The real question is whether he can change the sport by living up to the expectations now placed on him. His statements only strengthen his image as the most dangerous underdog in boxing. Hearn still has concerns about the matchup, noting that he was part of Canelo's loss to Dimitri Bivol and pointing out that Crawford could use a similar approach.
Interested, I think Bivol really did set the blueprint of how to beat Canelo Alvarez. You know, what you do is you're slick, but you throw punches in bunches, you move into range, bomb, 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 out of range. You do it again, because Canelo's not that active. He doesn't throw a lot of punches, and he hates movement, hates it. Crawford's got, Crawford, to be honest, Crawford's got to probably make it a little bit.
Hearn believes Canelo was undone by Bivall's sharp movement, heavy punches, and steady rhythm. He sees those same qualities in Crawford, who could take over the fight if he forces Canelo to chase him. Hearn's point was clear: if Canelo hasn't improved since that loss, Crawford will put him in the same position again. This fight will reveal whether Canelo has truly learned from his mistakes. Hearn emphasized that the opening rounds are critical and predicted that Crawford is ready to take control right from the start.
Go in there and just win rounds. And I think Crawford will win rounds in those fights.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Especially the early rounds. So Canelo may have to do something and try, because he's not that active. I don't think he really wants to work that.
Hearn believes Crawford's speed and accuracy can help him steal rounds before Canelo settles in. A fighter like Canelo feels real pressure when forced to chase the scorecards. Hearn added that if Crawford grabs an early lead, Canelo could find himself fighting both time and momentum. The opening rounds, he said, may tell the entire story of the match. American boxer Sergio Mora also weighed in, noting that Crawford's physical transformation is shaping the narrative beyond the ring. He pointed out that appearance can sometimes be just as important as skill.
Crawford is a smaller fighter, but the more this fight goes, it's more 50-50, and more people are starting to respect this man because he's been posting social media. He looks bigger. He looks like a muscular fighter, not like an out-of-shape lightweight or welterweight coming up in weight. He looks like a legitimate, muscular, middleweight type fighter. I love the fact that he's actually marketing himself, you know, getting great sparring, the running, the videos, and just, he looks like a beast, man. So I love everything he's doing to promote this fight and to show everyone this. I'm not the smaller man here. It's going to be an equal size fight when it comes to.
By looking like a natural middleweight, Crawford has quieted his critics. Mora pointed out that his training, physical condition, and practice footage all send different signals, showing that despite his size, he's ready to compete. This perspective makes the fight seem more balanced than ever. Mora believes the match is now much less predictable because Crawford's body and mind are fully prepared. He focused especially on Crawford's weight gain and how it affects his performance in the sport. Mora emphasized that the shape of his body is more than just appearances. It's built to last and perform effectively.
But he's an athletic fighter. I mean, he has a wrestling background. You know, I think he put on the right muscle. He's not soft in the midsection. You could tell that he still carries that muscle right. It's like whenever you do go up in weight and you see the muscle around the shoulders and the biceps and the back, that's when you're like, wow, okay, this is impressive. You see him deadlifting. He's a strong fighter, and he did it the right way. Just like Roy Jones Jr. when he went to heavyweight. He didn't look heavy. He looked just as muscular, only he did it, the muscle were in the right proportion places. I think Bud looks
Crawford's added muscle appears even, natural, and fight-ready. Mora noted that his entire body, from neck to back, looks solid. Crawford's transformation has been compared to Roy Jones Jr.'s famous weight gain, putting him in the same league as top athletes and giving fans hope for his future. Mora also highlighted that Crawford didn't rush or take shortcuts when building his physique. Every step, he said, is part of a larger plan to prepare for facing Canelo Alvarez.
Physically spectacular. He clearly has put on the weight in the right way, and this is not the case of a guy having a couple of months to get up to 168 pounds. He has basically been preparing for this moment for the better part of a year. Like, he knew that it was Canelo Alvarez or bust, so he's going to come in, I think, looking strong.
Mora says Crawford's physique reflects a full year of careful planning. Every run, lift, and training camp has been tailored to his 168-pound size and speed. Crawford's intensity shows he isn't just testing himself, he's aiming to win. When preparation and determination meet, history can be made. Spencer Oliver also explained to fans how Crawford has grown beyond his welterweight days, proving he's not limited to one division and ranks among the best in the world.
With any welterweight, his best weight really has been at welterweight. He lives with any welterweight in any division for me, and that's including all the greats. You know, you're going back to your Roberto Durans, Sugar Ray Leonards, all those guys. I think that he is that good, and we find out in September. It's going to be a fantastic.
Oliver placed Crawford alongside legends like Duran and Leonard, noting that his skills will always matter. The rare and close friendships he has show the respect he commands. This isn't just any September fight. Its purpose is to define Crawford's place in boxing history. Oliver called it the ultimate test of greatness and talked about what it means for boxing immortality. He then focused on the fight itself, predicting that both men are too skilled and determined to back down.
Belief that Crawford will beat Alvarez, and I'd like to see him beat Alvarez, quite frankly.
I mean, a joint 70 knockouts in their careers.
They're incredible.
Is this going to go the distance?
Insanely, I think it will. I think because they're both technically that good and they're both very durable. That's how they become the superstars of the sport of today. You know, they both can take a shot. They both mix it up. They'll both sit in the pocket. You're going to have excitement for sure because they will both go for it. They're both spiteful, very heavy-handed, but I think they both hit.
He said both fighters are tough, strong, and capable of handling the pressure. That combination, he told photographers, guarantees action from the opening bell. Neither man gives up easily, which makes the fight even more intense. Oliver wasn't worried about any problems, focusing instead on how long they can endure. His point was clear: this battle won't end early. It's meant to last, and by the final bell, fans will have witnessed a modern classic. Oliver highlighted the key matchup of the fight: Crawford's skill and strategy going against Canelo's natural size and strength. For Canelo, a talented super middleweight, power and size are critical.
Crawford's extra boxing IQ and the fact that he's moved up them weight divisions, who Canelo moved up from welterweight as well. He's gone through the weights as well. So when you look at them sizing up now, Crawford actually looks bigger than him right now. But Canelo's developed as a super middleweight. He's accustomed to being super middleweight now, whereas Crawford isn't. But I think that extra movement will be enough for Crawford, and I think he will be able to sit in the pocket when he has to against Alvarez. But be sure, this one will be a barnstormer.
Jordan said Crawford's chances are at their highest right now because Canelo is showing signs of decline. He traced Crawford's journey from the night he crossed the Atlantic to fight Ricky Burns, all the way to his dominant win over Errol Spence. Crawford has prepared for the seemingly impossible. After reviewing the divisions, Jordan agreed with Spencer Oliver while still believing Crawford could beat Canelo. It wasn't just analysis, he added, it was almost like a matter of faith. Jordan also reminded fans of Canelo's loss at light heavyweight, showing that even the most celebrated champions can be defeated.
I think if he's going to fight Sal Alvarez, it's the right time to fight him now because we're seeing elements of decline in Alvarez. Okay, the dance partners has been forced to fight against William Skull, didn't come to fight, did they? No. But Crawford, it'll be interesting to see how their styles gel and how the fight proceeds. But having watched Crawford like you have done, from the moment he landed on these shores to deal with Ricky Burns all those years ago, to the manner in which he dismantled Errol Spence and stepping up the weight classes, I'm in Spencer's camp. We're both in the same position, aligned, foolishly together perhaps, in the belief that Crawford will beat.
Jordan can't stop thinking about this fight. He believes Crawford has the skill, composure, and intelligence to defeat Canelo while shattering any illusion of invincibility. From this perspective, the fight is about more than the title, it's about legacy. If Jordan is right, boxing could be on the verge of its next major shakeup. Tony Bellew shared his thoughts on the Canelo vs. Crawford matchup immediately, saying it's clear only one man will win, and he expects Crawford to do so convincingly. Bellew's confidence was not a guess, it sent a strong message. He believes Canelo doesn't have the strength to match Crawford's skill, valuing ring intelligence, timing, and agility over sheer power. Bellew's self-assurance adds weight to his opinion, and fighters who radiate confidence naturally draw fan attention. He also questioned Canelo's choice to underestimate Crawford's record, especially against tough opponents, and predicted a decisive victory that everyone would remember.
Take that journey up to light heavy and find himself coming up against Dimitri Bivol and not being able to do what he does at super middleweight. I just think that Crawford is such a fighter of such stature and competence that he might just be the crypto.
Bellew stated that Errol Spence's defeat removed any doubts about Crawford's talent. Beating a top welterweight champion at his peak was truly impressive. He noted that Canelo and Crawford have followed similar paths through the weight classes. Bellew's point was clear: not everything is as big as it seems, especially when fighters who have shared the same journey face each other. On that level, he sees Crawford standing tall. The discussion about size started when Bellew questioned why fans treat Canelo as if he's the biggest fighter in the division.
I'm in a press conference and I've seen Canelo saying, name me one elite fighter you've beaten. He kept saying, just one elite fighter. As everyone forgot about the Errol Spence win. Because for me, the Errol Spence win was an elite win. Yeah. Errol Spence was reigning and dominant in the welterweight division, was beating everybody. And he went in there and beat Errol Spence up. So there's the first elite win that he's got. And if you look at these two fighters, there isn't that much size difference. Okay, the weight will be a bit different, but these fighters have been going through weight divisions quite similar.
Yeah.
You know, Canelo started at 10 stone, goes to from light welterweight to welterweight to light middleweight. We've all seen the rise of Canelo. People are making out like Canelo is a fully fledged light heavyweight or a fully fledged super middleweight.
He's been up and down.
This guy has been.
Even as the undisputed heavyweight champion, Bellew made it clear that Canelo isn't the biggest fighter in his division. He said the actual gap between them is being exaggerated. Canelo may look bigger and stronger, but that doesn't guarantee victory. Bellew pointed out that Crawford has already defeated tougher opponents. He believes fans dislike Crawford because of his size, but they've underestimated him at their own risk. Bellew added that if size and strength were all that mattered, boxing would be boring. The sport is really about adaptability, fighting styles, and recognizing decline.
At the moment, he's the undisputed unified super middleweight champion. Is he the biggest super middleweight out there? Absolutely not, no. Is he even the biggest middleweight out there? No. So why is it when Terence Crawford goes in with him, and Terence Crawford's fought now at light middleweight, Madrimov, I think he'd be for one of the titles. So he's got to win over a big light middleweight, and he's got to win over an elite welterweight, a division that Canelo was at not so long ago. I just think people are writing him off because of the size factor. Canelo is.
He told fans that Canelo has struggled in the past against skilled southpaws, making Crawford a particularly dangerous opponent. Crawford fights with both hands and combines control with the ability to make smart choices, qualities Bellew values equally. He noted that Crawford's style has evolved over time. Despite Crawford's superior intelligence, Bellew believes Canelo still has a chance to win. He thinks Alvarez will struggle against Crawford's depth of experience. Bellew also discussed the later stages of the fight, suggesting that the full story will only become clear as the match unfolds.
Not consistently always himself, but he switches back and forth. He's got so many different facets to his style. He's an unbelievably talented fighter. I just think he'll be too much. And I also do think Canelo's not what he...
He believes Crawford might try to take the fight to the judges, but Canelo won't want to take that risk. Alvarez seems focused on a late stoppage to avoid leaving it to the scorecards. Both fighters are determined to make their mark as they move into the championship rounds. Canelo's statements at press conferences showed he's under significant emotional pressure. Bellew added that Crawford could take advantage, as Canelo might make a risky move under that stress. Former world champion Sean Porter described the fight as extremely close, noting that this is the worst possible time for any mistake.
Just scorecards, but Canelo will be going for the stoppage. Once this gets past 8 rounds, Canelo's going to fear the cards.
Because championship rounds will be exciting.
Looking from the outside, looking in, you know, Canelo seems like he's got a bit of a bee in his bonnet that Turkey al-Sheikh is favouring Crawford. You know, he's going on, oh, your daddy's this, and he's looking at that, and when you look into that, you're thinking in the back of his mind, he'd be like, I don't want to go to point 2, I don't need to.
What a point to prove now, he wants to make...
Both Canelo and Crawford have made mistakes before, but Porter pointed out that neither has faced an opponent who could fully exploit them. Every error in this fight could be critical. Crawford's sharp instincts allow him to capitalize on any opening, while Canelo's power means even a small mistake from Crawford could be devastating. Porter compared the fight to a high-stakes chess match where skill and timing are everything. This isn't just about ability. The first to falter could lose. It's clear this fight is bigger than the titles. Legacy is on the line. Few would attempt to make history the way Crawford is, while Canelo is fighting to maintain his record as the unbeaten super middleweight champion. In this clash of skill versus strength, youth versus experience, and precision versus power, only one can come out on top. Crawford has the potential to shock everyone, but Canelo's size and strength are formidable. One mistake could end it abruptly. Still, this fight promises a moment that will be remembered for years. What do you think? Can Crawford overcome Canelo in a tougher division, or will Canelo's strength and size prove too much? Will the battle last the full distance or end suddenly? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content. History is about to be made, and the clock is ticking.
Where, as I was telling the Uber driver this morning, these guys, we've seen them both make mistakes in the ring, but they've never cost them, right? This is the first fight that I believe they both have been in, are going to get in the ring where the small mistake is actually a big mistake against the opposer. So Canelo making a small mistake is actually a big mistake because Crawford actually has the ability to somehow know that mistake is about to happen, and boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Canelo, on the other hand, Crawford hasn't been known to get hit, especially early in fights. And Canelo is the kind of guy where, he's going to come out and let his hands go. He's going to find moments to let his hands go. But when he finds those moments, you can't be caught slipping. You can't be caught sleeping. You can't be caught in between. Do I go in? Do I go out? Make that small mistake against this guy right here. It becomes a monumental mistake. And that might be the last.
He looks physically impressive and has clearly gained weight the right way. This isn't a case of someone trying to reach 168 pounds in just a few months. Crawford has been preparing for this moment for almost a year, fully aware that it's Canelo Alvarez or nothing. He's set to enter the ring looking strong and ready.